It's 2:37 a.m. You're lying in bed, eyes wide open, listening to your baby cry in the next room, and you're trying so hard to stick to the plan. You told yourself tonight's the night. No more night feeds. Your baby is 10 months old. They should be able to sleep through the night by now. But they've been crying for 12 minutes, and every single second feels like an hour, and you're lying there thinking, are they hungry? Are they in pain? Am I a terrible parent for doing this? You've read the articles, you joined the Facebook groups, you talked to your pediatrician. Everyone says different things. Some people say night weaning is cruel before 12 months. Other people say if you don't do it now, your baby will never learn to sleep independently, so you tried waiting. But it's been 3 months and nothing's changed. Your baby still wakes up 2, 3, sometimes 4 times a night wanting to nurse or take a bottle, and you are so tired you can barely function. Like you put your phone in the fridge yesterday, so you decided to night wean, and now here you are, listening to your baby cry, wondering if you're doing the right thing. But here's what nobody's telling you. The reason night weaning keeps failing isn't because you're doing it wrong. It's because you're trying to eliminate something without replacing it first. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean. Before we get into the science behind this, if your baby is still waking multiple times a night for feeds and you're exhausted, hit the like button and subscribe for more research-backed parenting advice. Drop "I'm so tired" in the comments. If this is your life right now, let's talk about what's really going on. I see you. I see the parent who's been up 3 times already tonight. I see the mom who's Googling when do babies stop needing night feeds at 4 in the morning for the 100th time. You've done everything right. You've fed on demand. You've responded to your baby's needs. And now you're being told that the thing you've been doing, the thing that's been comforting your baby for months, needs to end. And nobody's really explaining how to do that without it feeling like you're just abandoning your baby in the middle of the night. You've tried the gentle approaches. You've tried cutting feeds shorter. You've tried having your partner go in instead. You've tried offering water. And some nights it seems like it's working, and then boom, your baby gets a cold or starts teething and you're right back where you started. But here's the truth. You're not failing. Your baby isn't manipulating you, and you're not missing some obvious solution. The problem is that night weaning advice treats hunger like it's a simple on-off switch. Either your baby needs food at night or they don't. But that's not how infant feeding actually works. So, let me show you what's actually going on. So here's what's actually happening in your baby's body when they wake up hungry at night. And I mean, this is the part nobody explains properly, right? Between 6 and 12 months, something changes. Their stomach capacity increases. Their liver develops the ability to store and release glucose overnight. Their digestive system can process enough calories during the day to sustain them through longer stretches at night. But here's where it gets interesting. Just because your baby can go longer without eating doesn't mean their body knows how to do it yet. Babies develop what researchers call learned hunger patterns. If your baby has been eating every 3 hours around the clock for the past 9 months, their body has learned to expect food every 3 hours. Their stomach releases hunger hormones on that schedule. It's not manipulation, it's conditioning. Let me show you what this looks like. It's 8 p.m. You just put your baby down for the night. Their stomach is full. They're genuinely satisfied. But at 11 p.m., they wake up. Not because their stomach is empty, not because they need calories to survive, but because their body has been trained to expect food at 11 p.m. So their brain sends the hunger signal. And to them, it feels exactly like real hunger. So when you go in and feed them, you're reinforcing that pattern. You're teaching their body that yes, you do eat at 11 p.m. And then, yes, you do eat at 2 a.m. Research from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia actually studied this. They tracked feeding patterns in babies between 6 and 18 months. Babies who consumed the majority of their calories during daytime hours actually slept longer stretches. But babies who reverse cycled, meaning they took in minimal calories during the day and made up for it at night, continued waking frequently even when they were developmentally capable of sleeping through. So that 2 a.m. feeding? Your baby might feel hungry, but it's habitual hunger, not biological hunger. And that's a huge distinction, because habitual hunger can be gently retrained. And that's why the typical night weaning advice doesn't work, because it's trying to eliminate the feeding without addressing the pattern underneath it. So let's break down the specific mistakes that make night weaning fail. The first mistake: you're trying to cut night feeds without increasing daytime calories first. You think if your baby is hungry at night, they'll eat more during the day to compensate. That sounds logical, right? But here's what actually happens. Your baby wakes up hungry at night. You don't feed them. They eventually fall back asleep exhausted. They wake up in the morning, but they're not ravenous because their system is confused. Then during the day, they're playing, they're distracted, so they don't eat as much as they should. Then night comes again, and now they're genuinely behind on calories. So they wake up even more upset. Let me tell you about my buddy Tom. So Tom, he had this daughter, and she was 11 months old, still waking up twice a night for bottles, and Tom was exhausted. Like, he told me he fell asleep during a meeting. Actually fell asleep, with his camera on. So he decides, that's it, we're night weaning. He reads some article that says, just stop the night feeds cold turkey and the baby will adjust in 3 days. Night 1, his daughter screams for 40 minutes straight. Night 2, same thing. Night 3, 50 minutes. It's getting worse, not better. And during the day, she's cranky. She's barely eating. Tom's wife is like, babe, this isn't working. And Tom's like, no, we just need to stick it out. But then he actually tracks her calorie intake, and he realizes she's consuming maybe 60% of what she needs during the day. She's literally hungry at night, not habit hungry, actually hungry. So he completely changes his approach. He starts giving her an extra feeding session during the day. He makes sure her meals are calorie dense. He offers snacks between meals. Within a week, she's eating way more during the day. Her night wakings don't stop immediately, but when she does wake up, she's easier to soothe back down. 2 weeks in, she's down to 1 night waking. 3 weeks in, she's sleeping through. And Tom texted me like, why didn't anyone tell me to feed her more during the day first? That was the whole thing. So here's what the science says. Babies need a certain number of calories per day based on their age and weight. If you eliminate 200 calories worth of night feeds, but you don't add 200 calories during the day, your baby is now 200 calories short. And their body is going to signal that deficit through night wakings. The second mistake, you're still feeding to sleep at bedtime, and I know, feeding to sleep works. It's easy, it's peaceful, but here's the problem. If your baby needs to be fed to sleep at bedtime, they're going to need to be fed to sleep every time they wake up at night, because that's their sleep association. So picture this. It's 7 p.m., you feed your baby to sleep, but at 11 p.m. they wake up between sleep cycles, and their brain is like, wait, how did I fall asleep last time? Oh right, I was feeding. Where's the feed? You can't night wean successfully if you're still using feeding as the bedtime sleep tool. You're sending mixed messages. The third thing, you're expecting it to work in 3 days. Every article says the same thing. 3 days. Stick it out for 3 nights and your baby will adjust. And maybe some babies do, but most don't. Most babies need 1 to 2 weeks to retrain their hunger patterns. Some need 3 weeks. So you try the 3-day method. Day 4 comes and your baby is still waking up, and you think it failed. So you give up. But if you just kept going for another week, you would have seen the shift. So let's get practical. Here's exactly what I want you to do. First, before you eliminate a single night feed, increase daytime calories. For the next week, don't change anything about nighttime yet. Add an extra feeding session if your baby is still on bottles. If they're mostly on solids, make sure every meal is calorie dense. Avocado, nut butters if they're old enough, full-fat yogurt, cheese. Dense calories. Your goal is to get your baby consuming at least 90% of their daily caloric needs during waking hours. Second, you need to separate feeding from sleep at bedtime. Do it with the lights on, in a different room, at least 30 minutes before you start the actual bedtime routine. Then do your routine and put your baby down awake. They need to practice falling asleep without feeding. Third, pick your night weaning start date and make sure everyone's on board. Your partner, any caregivers. Everyone needs to know the plan and stick to it. Fourth, When your baby wakes at night, wait 30 seconds before you go in. Many babies will settle themselves back down in that time. If they don't, go in, but don't feed them immediately. Try everything else first. Rock them, pat them, offer water. Give them 10 minutes of soothing before you decide whether to feed or not. And here's the key. You're not letting them cry it out. You're just giving them a chance to settle without food first. You're right there. Fifth, if you do decide to feed them, cut the feed short. If they usually nurse for 15 minutes, do 10. If they usually take a 6-ounce bottle, offer 4 ounces. You're gradually reducing over 1 to 2 weeks. Here's what to expect. Night 1 and 2 are usually the hardest. Night 3 to 5, you should start seeing small improvements. Week 2, this is usually when the difference becomes obvious. Week 3, most babies are either sleeping through or down to 1 brief night waking. You're going to know this is working when your baby starts eating more during the day and settles more quickly at night. So let's bring this all together. Night weaning fails when you treat it like flipping a switch. When you try to eliminate feeds without replacing the calories during the day. When you keep feeding to sleep at bedtime. When you give up after 3 days. But now you know better. I know this feels hard. I know you're tired. But what you're doing right now, the multiple night wakings, the constant interrupted sleep, that's hard too. This is just a different kind of hard, and this kind has an endpoint. So here's what I want you to do this week. Don't think about night weaning yet. Focus on one thing. Increase those daytime calories. Get those calories in during the day. That's your only job this week. 2 weeks from now, you're going to look back at this moment and barely recognize yourself. You're going to be sleeping longer stretches. Your baby is going to be sleeping longer stretches because once parents understand that night weaning isn't about denying their baby food, once they realize it's about shifting when those calories come in, everything shifts, not overnight, but quickly and sustainably. If this helped, hit the like button and subscribe. Drop "I'm doing this tonight" in the comments so other exhausted parents know they're not alone. You've got this.